I am Reggie. This is the Haitian FREE Thinkers show. My co-host is James, and you are now listening to the Haitian FREE Thinkers radio show, brought to you by Blog Talk Radio, of course. Haitian FREE Thinkers is one of the world's few secular groups by Haitians for Haitians, and we invite you tonight to join James and I as we talk about relevant topics, particularly what happened in our past week. We cover a variety of topics. Whatever comes up to mind, we just kind of throw it out there and do our thing. We have a call-in number for guests. That number is 646-652-4442. Once again, at 646-652-4442. We come on every Saturday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We know it's late for some of you guys, but if you're able to join us, we do appreciate it. We will be taking calls tonight. We're looking for some interaction. So without further ado, James, what's going on?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, man? Had a good week.
Good. I'm doing fine. We're going to jump right into the show and talk about French or Creole. Catch the people up on the thread that's been going on Haitian FREE Thinkers and your thoughts on that.
Okay, it was basically a video, and I couldn't really watch it because for some reason they said it wasn't formatted for my device. And but basically the topic was, I think it was, what language should be the official language of Haiti. A lot of people were saying, French, and a couple of people were saying Creole. I said Creole, and I guess I added with that, I thought the French was more like some class type thing, I'm better than you type stuff. And on the thread, somebody said, they revoked my Haitian passport or whatever like that. I'm no longer Haitian. And then they translated, they said in Creole or French first, and then they said it in English because they said I was no longer Haitian. So now that was like, that's a good question. What language should be the official language of Creole? And also, what makes a person a real Haitian? I mean, do you have to be born in Haiti? I mean, could you just be born in America and have Haitian parents, or, and just really have strong, could you really, I guess, be an advocate for Haiti? Or could you just be a regular, American-born Haitian, and you may not even think nothing of Haiti at all, but does that still make you a real Haitian? You might not wear a Haitian flag, but does that make you, are you still considered a real Haitian?
Okay, well, that's a lot of questions. You asked me about the translating of what was shared in the thread, and basically, I'm going through the thread right now real quick as we speak, but basically, there was some French and some Creole in the thread, but what they were saying was they were joking that basically if you don't speak French or Creole, that you're not a quote-unquote a true Haitian, but all of it is in the context of sarcasm because I think everybody in the group knows that not everybody is very well-versed in Creole and or French. So that was the direction that was coming from. So basically, that was what the Creole or the French, I think, said. Basically, they're revoking your Haitian past. And so your question then is relevant because it's what makes a true Haitian, so to speak? I mean, do you have to be born in Haiti? Mm-hmm. And if I were to answer the question, I would say that it's very subjective because you have some people who were born in Haiti and they might be living in Haiti still, and they're they have this French state of mind where, I want to be as much French as possible. And if they had a chance, they would probably tell somebody that they're more French than Haitian, And then there's people who were born in outside of Haiti who keep up with the culture, and they're very proud of the culture. They may not speak a lick of Creole, and but they're very knowledgeable. Or I think even if you're not knowledgeable, you have an interest in Haiti and you have goodwill towards Haiti. That person qualifies as Haitian. For example, I'm going to go to the extreme of what is a Haitian, right? If it was up to me, if I was a dictator, which I'm supposed to be in the year 2035 or something, I would say that Sean Penn is Haitian.
Man.
I don't know if you know that about Sean Penn, how he's been helping out.
Yeah, I remember the situation that him and Wyclef had.
Yeah, so his wife, he has a wife. That's thing he helped.
No, I said him and Wyclef. They had some kind of situation or beef toward each other.
Oh, I was not aware of that, but
yeah.
I know that Sean Penn has been he's been there for a long time. He spent a lot of his own personal money, from my understanding, and he got love for Haiti in his heart. So, and he's what some people might consider a white man, and not born in Haiti, and he's probably just learning the language and the culture right now. But I think he definitely would qualify as Haitian based on the definition that I gave earlier. We have a member of the Haitian FREE Thinkers named Ziki Petrie, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Ziki is a white guy who I think he just sold out to Haiti. I think he married a Haitian woman, and he loves everything Haitian. I mean, the guy, I think, has a tattoo of Haiti on him, if I'm not mistaken. And, I mean, when you look at his pictures, it's like he's all about Haiti, and I think he lives there and everything. So that would be another person that would qualify as Haitian. Obviously, they're white people. They're technically American, if you want to go by where you're born. But I don't get caught up in the minutia of who or what is Haitian, because somebody can say that I'm not Haitian because I've not been in Haiti for a very long time. I left Haiti when I was 9 years old. My Creole is not the best. My French is not the best. But I can survive, I can speak a little bit. I can definitely understand a little bit. And I don't let it bother me now as much as it used to back in high school, to be honest with you. So that would be how I would answer the questions that you asked. But as far as the language, what did you think about, in general terms, should be what the Haitians should do about the difference in languages?
I think they actually, for my personal purpose, I think they should do, Creole, and then do like a French. If they could teach you. You can learn French if you like. Just like when you're in school, you can take other different languages. That's how I feel.
You think that French should be the secondary language, and it should be optional?
Yeah, it should be optional. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. As when you called me earlier, and you asked that question, I was thinking about how I would have Haiti set up as far as the language. I would definitely make Haiti the official. Haitian Creole the official language for education, for business, and government. I would keep the French as well as a secondary language because of the history. But I think we would have to learn English and Spanish. And the reason why, and some people might think that it's too much to learn 4 languages for a nation, because there's some bilingual nations like Canada speaks French and English. We just happened to visit Montreal a few weeks ago, and it works, even though there's some tension there. I mean, it's not easy because the Quebec people feel like they want to be independent from the English-speaking Canadians, but we're not going to go there. There's other countries, obviously, that speak multiple languages, whether it's officially on paper or not, But I think that the Haitians should definitely have Creole number one and should cultivate it. But I think that French is not as useful to us as English and Spanish would be, because English, we have the United States of America, which is really close by geographically, and we have a lot of relationship with the United States, and we're physically close to the United States. You have Canada, which is a place that a lot of Haitians migrate to. They speak English, and we already have that French component, but they speak English as well. Even the French part of Canada speaks English, so that's why you should learn English. The Spanish reason why we should learn Spanish is because our neighbors, the Dominicans from the Dominican Republic, even though we're having beef with them right now, they speak Spanish. And if we're able to have, let's say, 5 to 30% of our population speak, Spanish, we can have a better relationship with the Dominicans, hopefully. And if not, we have the Cubans that are nearby. We have the Mexicans. They're not too far away. It's about the same distance from Haiti to Mexico as it is to perhaps Canada and some parts of the United States. You have South America that's south of us. In the Caribbean, most of those places either speak Spanish or English. You have Jamaica, that's English. You have Puerto Rico, that's Spanish. And the chain of islands down there speak some sort of Creole, like the Antilles, or they speak French, like Guadeloupe and all that, and some Spanish as well. And Trinidad speaks English. So if we can have all four, but if I would have to rank it in terms of priority, it'd be I think it would be Creole first, English second. I would have to say Spanish third and French fourth, because if we become strong in French, if we're like a really good speaking French former colony, what's the advantage that we gain by that? I mean, who are we going to do business with? We have the Canadians, a part of the Canadians as and a French-speaking ally as far as speaking French, and then we have Guadeloupe, and I don't know who else in the Caribbean community speaks French right now, but Guadeloupe, Canada, and then the main country that speaks French is all the way in Europe, and we have some places in Africa that speaks French. So physically speaking, they're further away, and that's why I would put French as number 4.
Okay. See, I was thinking maybe, like, cause I was thinking because like Spanish is like probably isn't like the second largest language. It's not one. I don't know. It's one of the top languages, and I didn't really take into consideration. But yeah, Spanish would probably be like number 2 because there's so many different countries, and like you said, or English would be number 2 because United States. So yeah, I can understand that exactly. The countries that are so nearby.
Right. I've actually done some research before as far as languages that are the most popular as far as the number of people that speaks it. I can pull it up now, but the number 1 language is technically Mandarin Chinese because of the number of people that they have. But the reason why people are not anxious to learn Chinese as much is because China is just now, ramping up their business muscle, and even though they're swallowing up places such as Africa, and they're becoming bigger in the, like their influence is getting bigger. It's still not the language of business, and basically a lot more people find English, which I think is number 2 or 3, more useful because you can go and find someone that speaks some kind of basic English. French, of course, is up there. Portuguese, I was surprised Portuguese is up there. Urdu is up there. We're not going to speak Urdu because that's from, it's Bengali, I think it is. Bengali's up there. That's from the Indian area because there's a lot of Indians So sometimes that's because there's a lot of people that speak the language because of the geography and because of the way that, whether or not you're going to have a chance to interact with somebody that speaks that language. You may not spend the time to learn it. I think Russian was surprisingly up there. So, yeah, we're probably not going to find many reasons to speak Russian. But the Creole thing is important because, it's a cultural thing. We want to...
I think it's our own.
Right. It's our own. And, as far as the thread was concerned about people speaking French and Creole, not everybody in Haitian Free Thinkers is not even Haitian. We have people that are Jamaican. We have some people who we call pure Americans or whatever the case is. But I enjoy when members post in French and Creole because it kind of gives them an opportunity to practice. And if we were having a conversation, like right now with some of the members, if they want to, speak some Creole to emphasize a point, I think that's great because, we want to have some kind of pride in that. But what I don't want is to make people feel alienated, and that's kind of tricky because if they don't understand what's being said, sometimes they might feel like, somebody was dissing them or talking behind their back, and so they're trying to be slick with it. But I don't think that members should feel that way because enough of us know Creole so that if you have an issue, you can say, Reggie, what did so-and-so say about that? Is he talking about me? Is she talking about me? And I would gladly be able to tell you what they're talking about and give you a context. So I think overall it's a positive thing. We want to have a forum where people are free to express themselves. And like most of us are Americanized, from what I can tell. So it's not going to be a perfect Creole, and there's no reason to like become a grammar police when it comes to Creole or French and Haitian Free Thinkers. We want it to be a place where everybody can feel at ease and say what they got to say and express themselves in the language that they are most comfortable in. So with that being said, I want to remind everybody once again that this is the Haitian Free Thinkers radio show, and you can call in at 646-652-4442. Once again, that's 646-652-4442. Brother James told me tonight that he would like to interact with some callers, and we know there's a few listeners out there. If you have a chance, don't let midnight hit you and turn into a pumpkin. Please give us a call at 646-652-4442. If you also wish to email the show, you can find us at HaitianFreeThinkers@gmail.com. That's all one word, HaitianFreeThinkers@gmail.com. And now we have a Google Voice number, which is 678-820-9474. Once again, that's 678-820-9474. I know that's a lot of information to throw at you late in the evening, but how was your week, Brother James? What happened? Was it fast again? Tell us what's going on.
Well, this week went by actually kind of fast again, man. You know how they go. I'm starting this little workout thing, started going to the gym a little bit. And I think I'm going to start watching, what's that show, Preachers of L.A. I actually caught like 2 episodes this week.
Oh, okay, so tell us about that. What you think?
Oh, man, it was, it's a regular, reality show. They extra dramatize everything, but it was, it was kind of informative because, like, when these guys, they were preaching, these preachers, these ain't your granddaddy preachers. These preachers right here was like motivational speakers. Like, they were really, they can really preach on these shows. You know what I'm saying? They can really preach, and but it was just some of the backstories, like one of the guys named I think Dietrich. His situation.
No, I was going to ask you which one of the preachers that is because I've seen, I think, 1 or 2 episodes myself, and I remember there's a white guy that's like there's an old guy who's like a pimp, He looks like he has a mustache.
Um, he has like a kind of a soft, kind of deep voice.
Yeah, he has like that like mustache from like the 1920s and stuff.
Yeah, I think he kind of shaved it or something like that because it's a couple of priests. I can't remember their names. I actually wrote me some notes about the episode that I actually watched.
Okay, there's one guy. He's young. He has like a baby out of wedlock or something like that.
That's Beatrix. That's the one I was about to tell you about.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, he had a child out of wedlock, and I guess he had married. He was married before, and he got a divorce, and then after the divorce, he found another girlfriend and everything, and they were having sex, I guess, and they had a child out of wedlock. His father, said that he had fallen and he needed to get back in church and everything. And him and the girl had got married behind everybody's back, and then they didn't tell anybody. And then when the father came, they finally told the parents, that hey, we're married and we're gonna do this reception and everything like that. They were trying to say that the child, since he was born out of wedlock, it needed to be blessed or something. The child needed to be blessed, and some of the things they tell them, you could bless a child now because we're married and everything. I'm back in the church, I'm doing good. And the father was basically saying like, well, I still haven't touched you. Like I still haven't touched you and gave you my blessings. So basically, until I give you my blessings and until I touch you, then you're still unforgiven in the eyes of the Lord. And I found that kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's Bible precedence to that weirdness. Basically, that's what it is. It's weirdness because of the whole. I don't know if you remember the story of Jacob and Esau. How there was a trick where like Jacob put on fake fur, and he got the blessing of his father Isaac, who was old and blind. And then when Esau came in, he was like, yo, give me your blessing. He's like, yo, I already gave it to your brother, Jacob. And, like, how did this happen? I was stealing on him and all that kind of stuff. And so it's really some archaic stuff. I was about to curse. It's some archaic stuff that some people still think it's relevant in 2013. I mean, so that's what that is right there. I don't plan on purpose to go seek out and watch that show because it's repulsive to me. But I mean, but it's good material for the Haitian FREE Thinkers show. So and obviously Jesus has been good for business for a very, very, very long time, and I do expect it to go on for as long as people want to, until they get some. To be honest, some education. I don't know if that sounds arrogant, but that's the way I feel about it. I want to. What else did you? What happened? What else happened during the week?
What you mean throughout the week?
Yeah.
No, that was about it. Just like I said, I was starting to do a workout program, and I was just relaxing and working. Just working, relax. That's what makes the week go by so fast for me.
Yeah, my week went by fast as well, but I have plenty of material I wanted to put out there for your consumption and get your opinion on it. Mm-hmm. I want to put a couple of plugs in. I want to give some shout-outs first before I get to some of the things I want to bring out there. I want to say what's up to and plug Color of Hope. I want everybody out there to go out and Google Color of Hope, and they're an organization that's doing some positive things for Haiti and Haitians. They have a bike ride, like a fundraiser bike ride coming up January the 11th, I think, in South Florida. Please go to their website and find out more information. I was invited by one of their leaders to go. It's on the weekend, so I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to go. but that would be a great thing. They're doing big things, and they're raising money to do some positive things in Haiti, and you can go to their website and check that out. Also, I think last year I brought up BAJI, which is the Black Alliance for Just Immigration. Again, you should Google that. I think that's an important cause that everybody should look into as far as immigration rights. As Haitians, we are very intimate with that. But this is a unique group to me because they're showing everybody how immigration rights ties into the whole African experience. So that's why it's called Black Alliance for Just Immigration. So please go ahead and look that up online. They have their own website as well. And finally, I want to bring to everybody's attention basically a website called panafricandesigns.com. And basically, I found this logo, if you will, because I was watching a video called I Don't Like by Chief Keef. You know that song?
What is it called now?
I Don't Like. It's called I Don't Like by Chief Keef.
Oh yeah, Don't Like, yeah.
Yeah, Don't Like. So I'm all corny and stuff. I'm old, but but yeah, it's Don't Like by Chief Keef, and I mean it's catchy. It's catchy. So they have a remix by females. Shauna was the rapper that I recognized, and I knew Shauna since 1998. I mean, Shauna goes way back to a group that was a duet from Chicago called the Infamous Syndicate before she got with DTP, and now she's doing her thing on her own or whatever. So she did a remix. It's that called Don't Like, but the females, and it's pretty nice. And the thing about that video is that I saw all kinds of name brands like Adidas and Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, because they're from Chicago. And I said to myself, we're giving these companies free publicity, and sometimes they pay rappers. Like I think like some rappers have deals now, like what's his name? What's that fat dude? Rick Ross.
Rick Ross, yeah.
So Maybach, when he talks about Maybach music, I think, Louis Vuitton and all that, I think they might be getting some kind of kickback, But a lot of times the rappers, they give free publicity to these teams or, like Adidas and everything. So I was thinking to myself, like I was feeling the song and I'm vibing, I'm bopping. And I said to myself, dang, how how much money they made for Adidas? So I'm like, what if they did the same song, not that it's positive or whatever, it doesn't, I'm not talking about the message. What if they did the same song but wore black clothes and black logos and try to put ourselves up? If we had one team in all of major sports, whether it's soccer, basketball, hockey, whatever, one team, everybody agree we're only going to wear black teams. Like, where will we be? You know what I mean? So I thought about that, and so eventually I found this group called Pan African Designs, and the designer, the owner, he's on Facebook. His name is James Bauer, and I like the design. I'll put up some pictures in a future broadcast. So I just want to let everybody know about that group because they have nice shirts and various other situations where you could check out. So that would be what I would rock, and I'm probably going to end up investing in that group eventually. So I want to give a big shout out to James because he's doing it big for the black situation, African people who are into that. They know that it's very important to invest economically in what we do and who we are. So I want to give a big shout out to them. Okay, so as far as my week went, it started off on Sunday when I went to a Free Thought meetup with a local group here in Atlanta. And what makes this so special is that they actually have their own building. They have what they call the Free Thought Hall, and it's a very small building, and it's a converted church, which I didn't know about, but until I go in there, man, this thing feels like a church, and they have the chairs, the wooden chairs with the thing in the back where you put the hymns.
The pews.
And Say again?
Those are pews.
Yeah, the pews. That's what it's called. Yeah, thank you. So they have that, but it's a small building, and I saw like a bulletin board of when they bought it, and it was a very special thing because the one of the members told me that there's not many groups in the atheist community that have their own building. So that was like the first thing that I did that was related to religion and atheism and the show. So that was a pretty good time, and basically they just gave a speech about critical thinking, how it's beyond just atheism. You know, you should use critical thinking in all different areas of life. So that was pretty good. This week I started working again, and where I work at, they have a lot of these things called the Daily Bread. It's like a little small book. It's usually white. I don't know if you ever seen one before. Have you ever seen one?
Yeah, I've seen those many times.
Yeah, so it's like a daily devotional. And what makes this very attractive to me was that I don't think that's legal. I'm not sure if it's. I bet you like freedom from religion, because freedom from religion, they're famous for going out and challenging different things that religious people do that they think is legal, but a lot of times it's not, like prayer in schools and stuff like that. So I see. I mean, this stuff. I mean, it's not like all in your face, but it's there. And I just think that had it been any other group who's not very popular, you see that and somebody say, "Yo, I found a pamphlet by the Black Panthers." Somebody would have caught feelings and raised, stink. But that environment is very much Christian. I'm playing my position. I'm laying low, so I'm not even gonna trip on that.
Yeah, because you're probably at a place where they just assume that everybody's Christian,
Yeah, they assume that it's a very much Christian environment, and it's like a southern hospitality. I mean, there's a whole different there's a learning curve for me with this culture, and it's much different from where I'm from in South Florida. But I mean, I just wanted to bring that up because I noticed that. Jesus is white, James. Did you know that? According to Fox.
Yeah, right.
According to this lady named Megan whatever, she's extremely stupid.
Upset. Yeah, right.
She said that both Jesus and Santa are historical figures, basically, but definitely Jesus. I'm paraphrasing, of course. I mean, you can go and you can Google it, because I didn't believe it when I saw the link. Somebody put a link like, Jesus is white. It says this lady. I'm like, man, stop playing. It's probably one of those,
Well, like, come on, the Bible. Everybody sees in the Bible what it says already.
Yeah, and so I saw the video, and it came out of her own mouth that Jesus and Santa were both white, and she was like, everybody knows it, and like, I don't know, like. I mean, I'm happy because I don't like Fox. I think Fox is a bunch of paid Republican cheerleaders, whatever the case is. But, when they do stupid things like it makes me be like, wow. But at the same time, it's kind of sad because I think she was actually being sincere. This was not like a comedy show, and the lady is totally convinced that what she's saying is factual, and nobody checked her. That was the other thing. No, I mean, I guess because you have to be polite sometimes, and you're on TV, like maybe, I don't know, like it's not like she pays them, but nobody said, yo, I don't think that's correct, even if you say something politely, but, the episode was about, a black woman who wrote a book or something about making Santa multicolored, or she wanted Santa to be a penguin. But she was like, they were talking about, how everybody tends to be oversensitive, and, Fox is this macho American BS thing. So they was like, we should keep Santa white, and so that Jesus is also white. And that was the context of what she was bringing that up. And it might seem ridiculous, but I think Sarah Palin also made a comment a while ago. I think it was her saying that Jesus spoke English, or somebody did. somebody said that Jesus spoke English or the Bible was in English. There's a lot of people that are very, very ignorant out there, and some of them are public figures, and so it may sound like it's just a tiny fraction, but there's a lot of people who are ignorant about many things, and they actually do believe that Jesus was a white person. So I found that to be quite sad in a way. Also, this week, or 2 weeks ago, I found a Bible app, which I think is like the best app that I've seen when referring to the Bible. It's Bible.is, I think it is, and it's available for both Android and Apple app stores. And the reason why this app is special is because, like, they have the text where you can read. They have an audio aspect where somebody's reading to you, and it's not just dry reading, it's dramatic reading. And they also have a video component where they can, where they do their video aspect of different parts of the Bible. It's not the entire Bible, but you can watch, you can read, you can listen. It's very well done, and you can tell that somebody put money behind it. So, I mean, for me, you know, it might come in handy if I'm being bored, if I'm on the toilet or something like that, and I want to catch up on my job or something. But besides that, you know, I just thought that is very professional. And I was wondering, do you think that Christians, with all the many Christians that there are there, you know, will they ever put their money where their mouth is as far as making a movie? Like, I want to see a movie of the entire Bible from beginning to end. That would be like the blockbuster of blockbusters. Do you think that's possible?
No. Well, I mean, they'll just, if they did it like that, it'll do it just like a preacher in the church to me. You know, they'll keep good parts and then they'll take out the certain parts that we don't want this. We don't want to put that in there.
Yeah, that's what I don't. I want a like Passion of the Christ bloody movie. I want it to be violent and I want it to be truthful, so that people can see with their own eyes what the Bible is saying. You know, killing children. You think that's nice? When the Noah flood, because you know there's the Noah movie coming out with what's that guy's name from Gladiator?
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe is gonna play Noah, right? So I don't want to pay money to watch that movie, but if I were to see it, they're not gonna show the people you know, they're not gonna show the people suffering necessarily. At least I don't think. And if they are showing the people, the animals suffering, they already convicted them of being, you know, sinners. But I mean, hopefully I would like to see a real movie that depicts what the Bible says, that would even convince the believer that this is atrocious. It's violent. It's disgusting. It's nasty. But they have the money. They have the money, James. They have the money to build the churches. They have the money to do great.
You want to see the slavery rules and everything, the whole laws and rules about slavery and everything.
There was a guy who got stoned in the Bible for picking up sticks. He was picking up sticks on a Friday evening, and it was really close to the Sabbath. They took him to Moses. Moses could have had him put to death, as the law states, right away. But you know what Moses did? Moses put them to Yahweh and was like, Yahweh, this guy got caught picking up sticks. What should we do? Yahweh's like, kill his monkey self. You know what I'm talking about? And kill him in front of everybody. They had a public execution to show how serious Yahweh was about breaking the Sabbath. I want people to see that. I mean, you know, there's ways you can film stuff. You know how, like, you're not seeing sex, whatever. I mean, it all depends on how you want to do it. It's the choice of the director. But, you know, obviously, if it's up to Christians, to some Christians, they're going to make it seem nice. But, I mean, I think they have the money. And even if obviously the movie could be like 3, 5, 7 days long, but you can break it up into series, you know?
So you're trying to do like Roots, Bible style.
Yeah, Roots. Roots was I don't know how many movies was in that series.
And I remember I watched it, and it's like, I don't know how many parts is that. That thing is long, bro. It's a couple of days, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It's long, but I mean, if we listen, we like Lord of. Now, I'm into Game of Thrones right now.
I need to get on that.
Game of Thrones is excellent because they have some very philosophical things dealing with religion in there. You should really check it out. But Game of Thrones is about to enter its fourth season. It's a very popular show because it's very well done. And, money was put into it and then making their profits because it's really, selling, how it's supposed to. But if you could do Game of Thrones, spread it out over 4 seasons, and each season is about 8 to 10 episodes, you can do the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You could do that. You know what I'm saying? There's been shows that last for a very long time.
I think I've seen when I was younger. I think I've seen just about every, especially when I was in church. I think I've seen just about every Bible movie. Ten Commandments. I've seen them all, man. I think.
See, the Bible movies that I know about, they mostly deal with the same topic over and over again. There's a zillion Jesus movies. There's a couple of
Moses
movies, like this cartoon one was that Prince of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
The Prince of Egypt, they make it sound like so wonderful. They got Mariah Carey singing about it. They got black people talking about it. They made Moses even a little brown. He's a dirty white man. He's not a black man. They'll make him brown as heck, but they'll never make him a black man. Oh no. It's not like black people come from Africa or nothing,
He look like a dark-skinned Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he's a dark-skinned Puerto Rican in Africa. Lord of mercy. But anyway, so they always center about a few very popular topics, but it's not like doesn't cover some obscurity. So like, when was the last time you seen Jonah and the Whale? Right? What about? Go ahead.
Was there a movie about him? No, it was. I don't know. It was like a play. It was something I seen about Jonah and the Whale.
Yeah, Jonah. There's Ezekiel who had to walk around naked for 3 years backwards. There's Ezekiel who saw a spaceship and who was told to cook with his doo-doo. There's all manners of nonsense in the book. There's unicorns in the book. There's Jesus who rode a donkey and a small horse at the same time in the book. Jesus was riding a donkey and a small horse at the same time. Now, how do you film that is what I want to see. There's a part in the Jesus movies where it says that all the heroes of the old or something like that rose from the dead when Jesus came back from the dead. So you have zombies walking in the streets.
Yeah, you do.
And they don't talk about that. Or the other part that I find fascinating is, you know how like the devil took the Jesus to the mountain and said, worship me and I'll give you all the kingdom. How do you go on top of a mountain and see the entire world? They have to use special effects for that. They didn't have special effects back in Jerusalem in the year 3 or 4, whatever it is. But
he's got special power. He can do what he want to do.
Oh, special powers, of course. And then this is the part I'm interested in. They said that book said that they took Jesus. The devil took Jesus to the top of the temple in Jerusalem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said like basically to jump off the temple or something like that. My question is, you mean to tell me Jesus and the devil are walking in plain sight and nobody seems to notice? Like, really? I mean, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. They just pretend like it's normal everyday stuff and that they're having conversations, and that's just not the way it goes. You have to fill in the gaps with special effects or your imagination, because the story is not, I'm not going to say it's not well written, but I mean, if you ask enough questions, you'll see like, wow, that's a good question. How do I film that?
like in the Bible, like it only goes to like from Jesus like birth, and then it goes to like the age 12, and then it goes like I think up to like his death. Like what does I think it just say like wanted I don't know what happened between the age of like 12, you know, to the age of like 30 or 31 was supposedly when he died and stuff for some reason. Like you don't.
That's a very good question. Like I remember my friend, this guy I met was talking to me, saying that there's people who wrote books about how Jesus went around traveling to different places. Like he learned magic from Egypt, he learned from mystics in India, and when he came back, he was basically doing magic tricks that he learned from abroad, and that's why everybody thought he was like some kind of special person, and he was just like clowning on them cats because he went to special school and traveled, you know what I'm saying, learned some tricks. I mean, Jesus did not hang around intellectuals. And he almost did that on purpose. You know what I mean? When you're the smartest in your crew, you shine.
That's true.
So when he went to the temple, it's not like he's dumb. He went to the temple and he was battling the chiefs, and they was like, yo, this kid at 12 years old, homeboy was spitting lyrics. They was like, yo, this cat speaks with authority. So who taught this cat? You know what I'm saying? He could have banged with those cats, but nah, he gonna go and hang with illiterate fishermen, right? And the most bumpkin, rednecks or whatever you want to call it. And that's who he dealt with. But I mean, that's a whole different topic. But the point is, there's a lot of things that they could cover in any given thing. But if it's done by Christians, most likely they're going to clean it up and make it look nice and cute and whatever the case is. So it's going to take atheists. But the thing is that Bill Gates is an atheist. I mean, he got money to basically create a whole new planet if he wanted to. But is he going to invest money into like some atheist movies? Because I don't think he wants to alienate his cash cow.
Exactly. And plus, too, I think he probably feels as though, this is the way I feel, and it's a private thing for me. If anybody else feels the way they feel, that's a private issue. If you want to make a movie, y'all go ahead, but I'm not going to waste my money on one. He's just making money,
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. He can do what he want to do. It's his money. That's what I was thinking about. So the time is now 12:19 already. I'm having fun. My name is Reggie. This is my co-host James. This is the Haitian FREE Thinkers radio show. If you're still up, you can give us a call at 646-652-4442. Once again, at 646-652-4442. The Haitian FREE Thinkers show comes to you live every Saturday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're still up, give us a call. We would like to speak to some of you guys. I know the group has been getting a lot of new members lately and a lot of interesting people. So hopefully we'll be getting some of the group members to give us a call because I know they're listening. And, yesterday was my birthday, and I kind of wanted to bring that up, not for personal praise or anything like that, but
happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday.
Thank you. My auntie texted me. She said happy birthday, and she was like, I know you don't believe in God, but God will protect you and all that kind of thing. So a lot of people still, they're religious. They know I'm not. But do you find that people will apologize for being religious towards you since they know that you're religious? Like, do they feel like, oh, I'm sorry, but they still tell you?
Yeah, sometimes my best friend, I'll sneeze and she'll be like, bless you, but she'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
When she sneezes, I say, well, good health.
Yeah, I think I'm not oversensitive. Like I have a friend who I like the fact that he's respectful of my non-belief, but I'm like, it's not that serious. You can be yeah, but I just I found that to be kind of funny, cute, and weird. I'm like, you You don't have to mention that. Say, God bless you, whatever the case is. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to wish me well. You're trying to, you just, it's a tradition, and that's your way of communicating, and that's fine. So I want the people who are listening to this out there to know that it's not that serious, because around this holiday season, the Christmas wars is out. I don't know if you know about that. It's the Christmas wars, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and people get all crazy. They want you to say Christmas as if Christmas has anything to do with Jesus. For those of you who don't know, Jesus was not born on December 25th. But some people don't know that, honestly. They think that Jesus was white. Some people think that Jesus was actually born on December 25th. There's a group of Christians that actually celebrate Christmas on January 6th, I think. Did you know about that? Yeah, January 6th, I think, is the other Christmas.
No, I did not know that at all.
Yeah, I found that out a few years ago when I was doing my research on the birth of Jesus, because, it's not even in the same season. When I did my calculation, he was born, in April, so, they're way off, but, there's a story behind it. So when people get upset about, saying that Jesus is the reason of the season, it's kind of like them saying that Jesus was a white man. And, they're so convinced about their story that if you tell them anything other, it's like you're calling their mom, a four-legged animal. So sometimes you just have to be careful who you speak to, and I'm learning not to fight about silly things. So that's that. Hey, we're not gonna stay on too much longer. You have anything else you want to bring up?
Oh, no, but next week I will be having a lot more for us to talk about and to get some opinions about. And then what I'm going to try to do, too, with the topics that we come up with next week, I'm going to try to post them up a little bit earlier so we try to get some more, get some people to call in.
Okay, I will definitely do that. I want to close with this one story, which is kind of old, but I just thought about it for tonight. Do you know about the Kevin Terry sex tape?
The Kevin who?
Kevin Terry is a gospel singer who's like a young hipster kind of guy, and he's a black guy, and Dusty Smith, who is a famous YouTube atheist, basically made a video about him, clowning him about how he basically his male lover, I don't know if that's the male lover who put out the sex tape, but there's a sex tape of
yeah, I do know that. Yeah, I do know that. I think he was giving oral sex or something.
Yeah, he was giving real good oral sex apparently.
Because I didn't see the video, but the comments that was left there from what I saw, people were saying like you could tell it wasn't his first time. He was going at it.
Yeah, you can see the Dusty Smith video. It was kind of look for it. But the reason why I brought that up is I'm thinking that there's going to be a time that if you don't have a sex tape, nobody's going to take you serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like Facebook. Like some employers, they're gonna look you up on Facebook. It's not like an official like screening process for the job, but for whatever, probably some positions because of the sensitivity of it, they'll probably tell you to close down your Facebook or do like a different, don't use your real name or whatever. I think as far as celebrities go, even the so-called holy ones, if you don't do something kind of crazy, you may not get some publicity. You have to be smart about it, but I think sex tapes are going to be supposedly leaked in the future for the sake of publicity, and I think people can see that it's done some positive things as far as popularity for Kim Kardashian. Who else?
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton, supposedly.
Teen mom, the little teen mom chick. She became a porn star, made a lot of money off that.
Who's Teen Mom?
Oh, it was this It was the reality show on MTV, 16 and Pregnant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of the girls that were on there, after she became of age, of course, I guess her popularity was dwindling, so she decided to do a sex tape, and she got a deal with Vivid Productions, and she did a sex tape, and it actually did very well, and she made a lot of money off of it. But after that, she's been on Celebrity Rehab, and now she's going to be on couples therapy. So she's trying to keep herself relevant.
Oh, okay. Well, on that note, one last thing before we end the show, as I was getting ready for the show, I just remembered for some reason the DMX episode on Dr. Phil. I was watching a small clip of it. Did you have a chance to see that?
Yeah, who?
The DMX came on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, I remember him. They saying that he was going to be on there. I never watched the episode though.
Okay, well, I was watching it as I was preparing the show tonight, and I think it's worth seeing a little bit of the clip. But basically, I didn't know that he had so many kids. He, at the time of the show, had 11, and he had one on the way. So he's going to have 12 children that he claims, and he's $1.3 million back in child support.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like talking God talk on Dr. Phil.
That guy's always been talking God talk. He's been doing prayers on his albums, on his concerts. He'll do a prayer. In the middle of the prayer, he'll be crying and stuff like that. It's sad to see him like that because, growing up, that was around '96. That's like fresh right after Pac died and then Biggie died. And, it was like a vacuum. There was a lot of people trying to come out, but DMX was one of those guys. He was going to be around for a minute. He was just like one of those top rappers. And I think he's still like the only rapper in Guinness Book of World Records with 2 platinum albums out in 1 year.
Oh, word. So
his first 2 albums, they came out in the first year, 1 year, and they both went platinum.
Okay, and he said he was making $13 million a year.
Look, his wife, they did an interview with his wife, and they asked him, they said, man, what was the most money that you can go to? You can just go physically touch, like in the bank account, anytime, any bank account, all accumulated. Like at one time, he can go and touch $40 million anytime he wanted to. And through being messed up on drugs and not being business savvy, or not keeping your eye on your finances, he lost it all. $40 million. That's more than MC Hammer lost, 30.
Wow. I feel sorry for him. I'm not going to talk about God and him crying on stage. Like somebody who, you would think somebody in his entourage would care about him and take him to rehab and all that. But on the Dr. Phil interview, they showed him, somebody dared him to walk around naked in the hotel, and they showed a video of him. He took out his pants and he took out his clothes, and he walked around naked. And he was like, okay, it's nothing. I did it on a dare. But I don't know. I'll let you check it out. But you brought some interesting knowledge because I didn't know. $40 million is a lot of money, and I just look at him like you said, he was a rapper that it was big, and I had love for DMX, the rapper, but as a person, I don't want him to be in all crazy in all that situation. Forget the whole religion thing. I just want him to be straight. Because for DMX to be on Dr. Phil, it's kind of like an embarrassment for me.
Don't you know? And before that, he was on Ayana Fix My Life.
He was on Ayana Fix My Life. I never heard of that person. Who's that?
Yeah, she's on old network. Oprah. She has a television. She has her own network, and yeah, she has her own network, and on the network, she has a talk show host with a lady who, she finds celebrities or people, and she tries to fix their life. And they had an episode with many of his children and his wife and everything, and his son was trying to tell him, look, man, until you get clean, what I'm saying, I love you, Dad, but until you get clean, we can't have no relationship, what I'm saying, we can't have a relationship. And then he basically told his son, well, I guess you're gonna see him in the casket then, because I'm this is the way I am, and I like being like this.
That is not good. So I don't know what those shows have done for him. I haven't heard from him since. I'm not keeping close tabs on him, but so there it is. We're gonna wrap it up right now, but before we go, we want to remind everybody once again that this is the Haitian FREE Thinkers show, and we are on every Saturday night at 11:30 p.m. The call-in number is 646-652-4442, 646-652-4442. So next show, we're going to definitely push for some audience participation and interact with the people out there. But I want to remind you and everybody else out there, especially the group members, that at 1 p.m. today, which is now 15 December, we're going to have our Google Hangout. So we're going to have our Google Hangout. If you can join us, please do. You have to have a Google Plus account, and just just stop by and say hi, and we'll see where that goes. And with that, I want to say good night to all the listeners and everybody, because when I check the stats, when I do the shows, we do get some live listens and a lot of archive listens. One of our episodes got like 500 something listeners, so it's doing pretty okay, for a show that's kind of flying under the radar. But it's late in the evening. We thank everybody who's listening. Thank you. And if you will listen, please join us next week. Feel free to call in and let us know how you're doing, what you think. And until then, do you have any last thoughts, James?
No, I just want to wish everybody, a safe weekend. We'll see you again next weekend.
All right, next weekend will be, next Saturday will be the 21st, so a few days till Christmas. And we'll be talking more about Christmas, a little bit about Kwanzaa maybe, and everything else that happens during our week. So we'll see you guys next time, and have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
All right, here's the outro.